It's the story of women across this country still earning just 78 cents for every dollar men earn. In this economy, when so many folks are already working harder for less and struggling to get by, the last thing they can afford is losing part of each month's paycheck to simple and plain discrimination.
Women make 77 cents on a man's dollar on average. That's comparing all full-time women in the economy with all full-time men in the economy. But women tend to go in and out of the labor force. They choose different professions. They choose different occupations. Using that 77-cent number makes as much sense as comparing nurses to doctors, which is not a good comparison. If you look at two first-year associates in law firms, a man and a woman, they make exactly the same. Otherwise, they could sue that law firm. If you look at two first-year cashiers in supermarkets, they make about the same. If you look at two people, male and female, in almost any job for which they've been working the same amount of time, they make the same amount of money, because otherwise they could sue for discrimination. What happens is, if women on average choose more family flexible jobs and full-time women work about 12% fewer hours than full-time men, then they make less. But that's just an average, not a job-specific comparison. There are many more women reaching the top than there were a decade or 2 decades ago, but it's nowhere near 50-50. It's not even 25-75. And that's because about 80% of women have children at some point in their lives, and they like to take time to look after them, to spend time with them. And if you look at the 100 best jobs for women in any women's magazine, it's always the jobs that are flexible. It's not the inflexible jobs. And it's just unfortunate that inflexible jobs pay more than do flexible jobs. And these inflexible jobs with the travel and the hours, they get you on the CEO track. I think it's not a matter of discrimination, it's a matter of negotiation, and be willing to say, I'm going to leave this job, I'm going to go to this higher paying job. We have had female secretaries of state, we have women CEOs, we have women who've run for president. In essence, I think women have achieved it, and they have it all.
哎呀，你可回来了，我想死你了！
快下来，很热。
我就要这样。我不管。
下来。
我不。
快点。
李尖尖，哪位李尖尖？
这边。
请到这边。
尖，上面。
想哥了，我以为分开很容易呢。这10几天没见到哥，我就浑身没有力气。
姐，学校有流星，起来！
啊！哦，流星哎！我第一次看见流星。
你把糖吃了。哟，不理我，张嘴！啊！真乖。高3的时候。
啊？
那个时候我说过，我以后会娶你。想不到我们家李尖尖的鹅脑袋也能享受这么多人生道理。哎呀，可喜可贺呀！
怎么了？开始崇拜我了？
कता खै यत्रो बेर भइसक्यो राति हुन लागिसक्यो भिडियो सुट गर्ने भनेको कुरै ल छिटो आउनु छिटो ल केटाहरू बोकेर आउनु है ल अलि छिटो आउनु राति हुन लागिसक्यो ल ए ल
Hey yo, the middle side. Sit down. फेरि पनि आगो बल्छ जब सुने बीट लेकिन पाले गीत let's vibe songs कला trip मेरो hustle in रात I'm gang seat it's like tagging the clips ल सुन मेरो कुरा पैसा साय पनि को काम पुरा तेरो ग्याङ ल भ्रा गरिनी अघि राम बगलीमा सोच रात रामको रूप काम राउन्ड छवि धेरै देखि कन्स्टा नौटंक तेरो ज्ञान पछन मेरो दान त समतल जसले पनि रोक दान भयो हामी नपस्ने झुटो आस मुखको सास गुको बास बगेममा हुन्छ त्यो जुदो लास अब सुन मेरो कुरा ध्यान गरी राख दिमागमा आफ्नो ध्यान गरी राख तेरो आलेर बनाउँछ बडी गार्ड सुन यस्तो होइन तरिका सक्सेस बने गरिका बिचकै लागि लडिरा त बिचकै लागि मरिरा बिचकै लागि लडिरा सम्मा तेरो सरितालाई गरी खाना छैन तरिका भाइ आइज यता सिकाइदिन्छु ऱ्याप कस्तो हुन्छ तार्छ रक्सी लक्की बाज टक्कर बन्ने प्रतिभा छ बेचा जस्तै सर्दी राज तेरो दाखेल सम्झ मदिरा अन्डररेटेड बायन रोन्ट साटो म भन्दा सदिग्ने चल्ला बाटो भेट्न आइज जान्छ सातो पारा देख्छ सिताउने बाको थाहा छ तेरो फोकरको दागो डिटेल जन जाति बाको सब तेरो अलि बेसी भएको नि पपड तलाई लकी नाको स्लाइली समता छैन ऱ्याप फुल फ्रम द बच्चे होस् त्यो ऱ्यापको गुल छन् मेरो गीत झरी पछि फ्लप तेरो फुल सङ मेरो गीत झरी पछि फ्लप तेरो फुल सङ start to try and hard to get I'm student so I hustle better pop is like the what's and I'm sure I'll reach the that pop is like the what's and I'm sure I'll reach the that pop is like the what's and I'm sure I'll reach the then be the great no चाहिने कुरा बाहिर फेक त ज्ञानको कुरालाई समेट हार मान्नु भन्दा काचो रिसको त बुद्ध जस्तै ध्यान गरेस् दिमागको खेल हो बाबु बलको केही काम छैन पैसाले फेम सुन्दाम छैन अबदेखि ज्ञान पढाउँछु ज्ञान तेरो छैन कि काम चल्छ सुन्दी ध्यान अबड अन्धकारमा भेट्छ आतङ्क यी बडै साराले पनि पैसा न हो बडो त काम देख्छु म रिल ए बडो एकेडे नगर तेरे आछ हो बडो उनी ग्रिस मेरो उतार हङ बडो हङकार गेम्स मेरो ग्याङसँग Tell us about him, my dad, my brother, like the bound. I let you know, got my coil, sign a bite, but a bass of brand, the design, the coach, with us, no, bass, no, the big guys, got my sass, no, so I'm not to call it, but you take up a such a take a click of money, my life,
Надо в магазин.
Time, olha só aqui esse presentaço. No vídeo de hoje eu vou trazer para vocês um